So I am back. As I showed you before, this is my hair in its raw form, its raw natural form, which, as we all agreed, is really rather marvellous. And someone actually commented and said that it's her superpower, it's her superhero, and I genuinely agree with that. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to SKIMDO and show you how I do my hair. Something that's been very requested that I'm really excited to show you, and what works for me may work for you, and but nonetheless hopefully you get some sort of an idea of how it goes and how SKIMDO does its thing, what the before and after really looks like. So what do I have here? I have a Tangle teaser, and I have a clip, just one of these, very easy. This may be from Muji, but I'm not sure. And a hair tie, and obviously just the SKIMDO. That's it. So what I'm going to need now, I guess, since my hair is super natural and needs to get SKIMDO'd, probably just need some water. The wet hair to start with, and just squeeze that through, and my hair is, what would I say, it is porous, and however it does dry fairly quickly. Parts of it, the front dries fairly quickly, and so can sort of some back bits over here, but where it really doesn't dry quickly is in the roots and underneath. So we're going to start with pumping some SKIMDO out. I did 6 pumps, so I'm going to pull that through my hair. On one side, just very loosely and easily, and then I'm going to do 6 pumps on the other side. Let's put that together. Just pull it through. If you know me, you know that I'm very haphazard. I'm not really a perfectionist with my hair, and SKIMDO really allows me not to be. And I think it's hard to be a perfectionist if you have curly hair anyway. My hair, as you saw, I didn't detangle it before I did this. It was just dry from washing. There was no product in it at all. So I'm just going to quickly detangle with my hands like this. It's really the best way to detangle your hair is like this, with your own hands. When you drag a brush through it like that, you really create knots, and the best way, and especially for children, is to just do this and detangle it. It's really satisfying. And then the other side. Ooh. Find some pieces, just pull it like so. And then I'm going to take the Tangle teaser through it. I love this brush. I know there are some new ones, and I'd love to try them. I just really hesitate to get new things. I love my tools at work. I really do. So I'm going to take a Tangle teaser. Now that I've detangled with my hands, just going to brush through to evenly spread the product through the hair. So this, and I go from the ends upwards, because like I said, when you drag through like this, you're going to get some really tough knots to get out. So yeah, This I don't mind. It's like, it's very triggering sometimes, the sound of crunching through a knot. It reminds me of being a kid, and I would sit in the bath with my mother and she would drag the brush through, this metal brush, and just to hear that crack of my knots was excruciating to me, and it felt like it was never going to end. And actually often she would just spare us both the pain and cut out my knots with her Swiss Army penknife scissors. So that was her technique. I don't recommend it. It's pretty scarring. So yeah, I'm just getting the product really evenly through their hair like this. You'll see a big difference in a second. It's very satisfying. Oh, lush. So that's one side brushed. Now, I have not conditioned my hair in terms of just conditioned it. It was conditioned after shampooing about 5 days ago. So I'm just going straight for the SKIMDO. My hair feels clean. It feels like it's had a lovely break. So that's one side. And then we'll do the other side. This bit will undoubtedly be sped up. Not to bore anyone with me brushing my hair twice. On the other side. It's cool there. As you get through, it just looks so beautiful and moisturized. That's the product through. It's really, really lovely just to have that moisture back and the definition, and even the color is richer in terms of my natural dark hair, which I have not dyed in around 7 years, or yeah, around then. The last time I dyed it was at Bleach London Sapphire, the incredible and beautiful Sapphire. Did my hair, did a little bit of highlights at the bottom, and that was it. That's the last time. So that grew out really quickly. My hair grows out pretty quickly. So yeah, I just did one pump of SKIMDO there, just to really coat the ends. And now I'm going to, so long. Now I'm going to tie it up on one side and clip the other side so that I can use segments to finger twist. So this is the side I like to do last because I find it's quicker for me to do, or there's something easier about it, and I like to do harder things first. In general, if I can do the hard thing first, that's what I'll do. So I'm just tying up this side. Yeah, I have not really cared about my armpits in a while. So I'm going to start with this side. And what I like to do is I like to do this finger method where I drag it from just above my ear to get a section, and then I twist this bit up and I clip it. Like that. Just let it stay there. And then I begin the twists. I'm going to actually put some more water on my hair. Get it nice and wet. I always say to people, get it as wet as you can stand it. Obviously, it's slightly easier for me out here living on a ranch, but I really don't want to get stung by a wasp right now. Yeah, it's a little easier for me out here on the outside, but you know, I would probably get just as wet in a bathroom if I need to. So yeah, just get that really wet. Each time you get more product out, I take about a pearl-sized amount, and then I just twist like this. I use 2 fingers, so these 2, and I just take random small bits. I do this. And then that's that section done. So you can really see how moisturizing and lovely that is. And then I had already put a section that I wrapped around the clip. So I'm going to get that now and do the same thing. Just take a little piece. God, I love the smell of SKIMDO. There's just nothing like it. A little tiny bit, a little pearl-sized amount, and just finger twist. Put 2 together there. Goes apart, so you can see how that's gonna start going. So take that out. Again, I like to sort of trace around here. I like to do it in sections like this. And so I'll take another bit, that, get that and twist it up again. That's one of the hazards of having curly hair that's very thick, is that you can break a clip, or any thick hair. Just add a little more water. Tiny bit more product. Some places need hardly any more, and some areas need more, and you'll know that by knowing also of your own hair that you have several different curl patterns going on, and some parts are a little tougher, like for me around the crown where all the new hair comes out, it's a lot tougher and it gets drier quickly, so it's less porous in parts. The thing about SKIMDO Original Cream is that it really works on nearly every curl type. I'm constantly not surprised, but not at this point am I surprised, but I'm constantly invigorated at how different hair types respond to the product, and often it really depends on your hair health. I'm really pleased that the formula that I set out to create is performing in the way I needed it to. I've been using SKIMDO since I was a essentially 18, because that's when I first created it for myself only. And so that's me using it for many years, many years. And what I wanted it to do was I wanted it to nourish my hair, but at the same time, because I've always been a city girl pretty much, unless I'm a beach girl, protect it against pollution and city fumes and all that stuff that happens to the hair. And I needed it to be protected. Gotta watch out for the mosquitoes. I needed it to be protected and nourished at the same time. And what I found with my research on much oilier products and much more buttery products was that, it's looking really nice. What I was finding was that I was essentially making a tar lasagna on my hair. Every day I would wet it again and pull more butters and oils and serums and everything in it and pack it all back on, and then I would go out into the world, into the polluted city. At the time it was London, and I would just be layering between layers more pollution. And so when it came to wash day, when I would wash my hair, it would be pretty much black water in the tub or in the shower basin, and it would take a few washes to get clear water. And then not only that, but my hair was so dry afterwards, and I was like, what's going on? I'm using all these butters and oils and natural beautiful everything for my natural beautiful hair, and it's so dry. It's so dirty. What is going on? And so when I was making SKIMDO, I was really researching this, and I was like, well, it's kind of really logical. If you're putting adhesive on your hair and you're in the city and you're not in the lovely country hills of Jamaica, then it's going to get really dirty. And I don't want to wash my hair every day. I just can't. There's too much of it. It only dries, if I washed it in the morning, it'll only dry, just left to its own devices, probably by 3 p.m. And I can't do that every day. There's other things I need to do and want to do, quite frankly. And so when I created SKIMDO, I needed it, once it was dry, to be non-adhesive. This hair is going to trap things anyway. It's going to trap scent, it's going to trap some dirt, it's going to trap things naturally. But I wanted my product to be the least trapping. And so that's why I feel that, having used it for so long and seeing my hair in its raw condition and feeling it and seeing how that is, I know that it's been doing its job, because it's so strong and it's thick and there's no patchiness and it doesn't break easily at all. Hardly any hair comes out when I brush it. And you know, the only consistent thing I've done, other than a fairly healthy diet, but certainly not extremely in my very ravey 20s, the only consistent thing has been SKIMDO. And even so, I've definitely bleached it, and I wasn't big into blow drying it straight. I had a spell of doing it for a little bit before I created SKIMDO, but I blow dry it dry curly. So I use the hairdryer every time I do my hair, and it's protected. It's protected. Let's get in some water. It's so much. Well, as I said, the wetter the better. I'm just gonna, instead of tying that up, I'm just gonna tuck it under here and find this piece. A little bit more SKIMDO. I literally use the tiniest amount, a little squiggle. Just maybe an inch or half an inch. It's a very concentrated product, so it's a very concentrated product. So if you use too much, then you may get a little heap of product on your hair. It doesn't really look that good, and it's just unnecessary. So it's about finding the balance, because we're so used to putting handfuls of product on our hair that it's hard to get out of that practice. It's very much what a lot of us have grown up with, but it's also because of the watery products, high water content, and which obviously we need water in our hair, but a rich product is so nice. It's coming to these silky little front pieces, which are always quite fun to do. And then we're going to be done with this side. It's a really fairly quick process for me doing SKIMDO. I mean, at this point, but if I'm sitting and I'm watching a show at the same time, then it can be a little longer because I'm pausing to see what's going on in the show. But if I'm focused and concentrating, it's really quick because the formula has a lot of slip, so it just glides through. So that's one side done. Pretty nice. Now I'm going to do the other side for you. The wasp was very, very interested in what's going on over here. So I think I was explaining that at school I wanted a very specific person's hair that was a senior at my school, or a few years older, and her name was Charlotte, and she just had the most incredible curly hair naturally. She's half Brazilian, and that's ironic, isn't it? And there was a clue there. Anyway, so I always wondered, you know, what it would be like to wake up and have her hair. And now I know what it's like to wake up and be really happy with your hair. And it's such a beautiful feeling. And not just happy, really looking forward to it. To, you know, if you've been asleep on it, taking it out and letting it out and being really excited about seizing the day and feeling really, really good about what you look like, to the point where you're not thinking about that anymore. Can you imagine any other thing that you wish you didn't have to think about? There's tons of things. I'm just gonna put some water on my hair. Very wet. And people will always say, oh my god, it takes so long to do that finger twisting every time. I'm like, no, I mean, what is it? Less than an hour out of my week? That's, to me, not a long time. It's probably the least time I spend on anything every week. So there's that. If anyone asks you or rudely inquires, no, I'm just kidding. It's a fair question, and I know people who have to blow dry every day, and that's quite a few hours out of their week. Just last bit here, and then what I do is, when I'm finished, I go and have a look and see if there are any places I missed, because sometimes when you then dry your hair and you're like, oh my god, I missed this bit, not that it really matters because you can so easily redo it, but I go around and I look and see, is there anything, and often it doesn't even matter because it'll look so good anyway. And so yeah, I am skim done, sort of half done. Obviously the missing piece is the drying part, and so I will let it naturally air dry for probably an hour, and then I will help it along with an ionic hairdryer. So the one I'm using at the moment is Harry Josh, and it's really great. It's really nice. I don't use a diffuser attachment because I like to stretch it with a flat nozzle when it's probably around 80-85% dry. I start to go in there just to stretch it because I like to wear it longer, and that's my cut really. I don't have like a voluminous or very shaped cut for volume. So that is me and my SKIMDO tutorial, which I hope, having requested it, it has met your expectations. And if you have any questions, let me know, comment or direct message. But the great thing about the comments is that other people might learn from your questions, so feel free to do that too. Thank you so much for listening to me, and yeah, this is SKIMDO. It has air dried a bit, and I'm just going to go in with the hairdryer. Just want to show you, it's so soft. I'm going to show you how I dry it. It's going to take the volume off while I do it. So here we go. So here I begin to stretch it, as you can see, and the way I do that is just by pulling the hair, not hard, but just long, and drying it along the line of it, and that stretches it. And it's a really quite simple and very satisfying technique that I taught myself. So here it is again. Easy peasy. And then also it gives you a chance to really get into the root with the warm air. You'll see here that I missed a few twists, but it doesn't matter because it's got SKIMDO on it and it's going to look and feel fantastic no matter what. You can really be very haphazard with this, but you'll see when I finish blow drying how it turns out. So that is, you can see how shiny it is. It's so soft. It's amazing. And so I did a tiny bit of stretching with that just free blow dry but what I'm going to just show you now is that I can do a tiny bit more with the flat nozzle. So that is a flat nozzle, and it attaches to this. And so I usually have it like this angle, like that, and then I do the same thing. And this is on a low heat, by the way. It's on a low heat. So here it's just exactly the same as before, but I'm using a flat nozzle to really concentrate the heat. Again, it's on a really low heat, so it's warm air blowing, but it still manages, with the product, with the formula, they work together to create a longer hold, basically. That's basically it. I am now skim done. My hair is so moisturized and so soft, and it's just great. You know, I have volume, obviously, as you can see, but I have so much shine and so much length, I guess, and it's kind of, this is exactly how I finish and wear it. So what that took me in total, probably an hour and a half, and so I hope this has been helpful for you, and let me know. But yeah, if you want any more of these, do let me know. I'll come up with something else for you guys, and just so grateful for each and every one of you. So see you soon.